Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hive. Rafi Fisher here with Joe Block and Max Berger, star wrestling athlete.
And Joe Block, star hockey athlete.
Right, that's true. Also, I forgot to mention that SAR Sting versus Rambam Ravens. This is a great game here. Looking forward to a really exciting game.
Yeah, I mean, SAR, number 2 seed in the Western Division, had a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Now faces the Rambam Ravens in the quarterfinals. SAR is obviously the top seed. Had some great games this year, but here the playoffs finally start. The grind, what these boys have been waiting for all year. Let's see how they come out and perform tonight.
And what do you think SAR needs to do to win this game?
Oh yeah, I mean, their shooting has really carried them so far the past couple games against Frisch, for example, the biggest game of the year. Jake Schwalbe, Noah Gurr, and Judah Oppenheimer all played fantastic from beyond the arc. Look for them to keep that up tonight. And, of course, defense. Defense wins championships, especially in the playoffs. So, yeah, look forward to that.
And look for Sammy Sokol, the impact player for me, offense and defense. I would argue the best defender in the league.
Yeah, SAR's captain.
He's a great defender, very versatile, and also a very underrated offensive player. He's got a solid shot, and they do this play every time, as Weiss is going to put it in.
Nearly every single game, and it's been so effective. So, I mean, I don't want other teams to see it, but wow.
Yeah, they do it almost every time. And the players to watch for Rambam, number 42, Ethan Aaron. Number 1, Aaron Azuz. I don't know if I'm saying that correct.
I think it's
Azos.
Azos.
Thank you, Max. He'll be our grammar guy for the day. And Eli Hanukkah. And something Coach Halpert said before the game. This is a young but good team. And we'll go to Max for more, actually, about what he said.
Well, said this team kind of flies under the radar a little bit. You know, they don't get too much press. Their guys, again, they're a young team. Lots of juniors on this team, as Azos misses the layup. But they got a lot of energy. You know what I mean?
Oh, that was
they're 9-5 on the year. You know, any lower seeded team here really just looking to be to make an upset. You know, you see it in the tournament all the time, in the NCAA tournament.
Here's Gurin over to Sokol. He was fouled.
Certainly fouled over there.
But yeah, you see it all the time. The lower seeded teams really don't have much to lose, really are just trying to play up. And the interesting dynamic is you have to see SAR come out here strong. You don't want to see them play down to their opponents, which is what they've done in the past. You just want to see them stay on top the whole game.
Certainly. You saw the same week
they
went to overtime against MTA on the road. Well,
Right.
MTA, not an elite team, so to say, and then came out and beat Frisch by 10 points here at home. So, they got to really play at their caliber against all opponents, certainly here in this first round.
I mean, if I'm Rambam, I'm just trying to stay in this game. Don't let it get out of hand. As long as you're within striking distance, put some pressure on in the second half, anything can happen.
Oppenheimer guarding Azos. Azos on the drive with a double pump. No good. Here's Schwalbe. Oppenheimer with a great move. No. Try to tip. Nah, Sammy tips it in. And that's an early timeout for Rambam as SAR up 5-0. 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game. And Sammy playing well so far. He's got 2 boards, 3 points, and look for him to continue shining. And Joe, I didn't get to ask you, who's your impact player tonight?
I'm going to ride the same dog that I've had for the last couple of games. I'm going to go with Jake Schwalbe. When Jake Schwalbe plays at his elite level, it really brings this SKR Sting team to another dimension. They play fantastic basketball when Jake Schwalbe is shooting and scoring. So, honestly, just look for Jake to shoot.
It will be the same vibe for SAR. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, if Jake's not scoring, it's usually because he's just not shooting. So,
it's a good
keep
point.
an eye out for that.
And Max, what about you?
I'm gonna stick with their top dog, Judah Oppenheimer. He's been probably the top scorer all year. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's their offensive leader, I would say. So, look, ride what's been working.
And that was Sammy, his first personal. certainly something to watch. He was in foul trouble against Frisch. Can't have that.
Often in foul trouble. So
Aaron shooting 2. He misses the first. SAR certainly not a deep team. Look for Bloom and Greenbaum off the bench.
Yeah, they usually don't play past that.
They don't play past that, yeah. As he hits the second. Rambam puts its first points on the board. There's Oppenheimer. Over to Schwalbe. Down low to Sokol. Sokol taking it in on Aaron. No. Weiss with the board. Down to Sokol. Back to Oppenheimer. Great ball movement so far. Gurn on the drive. Great move. No. Weiss. No. They're tipping around, and Aaron gets the rebound. And here comes Rambam. Here's Azuz. Over to Siklik. Back to Azuz. Both teams moving the ball fluidly right now. And one thing SAR sometimes struggles with is a great pump fake. Siklik on the drive. Tries to draw the foul on Sokol. No.
Straight up by
Blocked
Sokol.
by Sokol. Or no, it was a rebound. Here's Gurn in the corner. Back to Gurn. Gurn fakes, and he traveled. It's a fair call. And yeah, one thing I was going to say, SAR, they sometimes get stagnant on offense. And, Joe, what do you think is a way to break that? We've seen that many times in the many games that we've announced.
Right. I think that they get into these little ruts where they try to do a little too much ball movement.
Got it. That was a 2.
They try to do a little too much ball movement and end up, just forcing up a bad shot, as we kind of seen in the last couple possessions. So obviously ball movement is critical, but they need to actually look for an open man.
Great pass by Oppenheimer to Schwalbe.
That was actually a great take by Jake Schwalbe.
I agree.
It's interesting. A lot of times they travel. Pass straight to a pump fake and then a travel. I've seen that in the number of games I've watched.
I have seen
that. You see that happening a lot. I wonder if that's been a point of emphasis in practice for Coach Halpert.
Good question.
It happens very often.
Siklik for 3. No. Rebound Sokol. SAR looking for something on offense. Had a good start. Struggling now. Alley-oop to Weiss, and no. Tries to get his own rebound, and no. When I used to play, and a steal by Oppenheimer. Down a little Weiss. Weiss puts it in. Great awareness by Judah Oppenheimer. Right there. That's Rambam's coaches. Is certainly unhappy. Ashi Bloom getting ready to check into the game. I like to call him a older version of Derrick Rose. Before Derrick Rose had all those injuries. He's explosive, he's fast, and he's athletic, and he adds a lot of that to the team.
I actually just like to call him Ashi.
I also do, but I like
sometimes I call him Rebby. Feeling a little, scrappy out there. But
Sokol and Gurn will check out. Greenbaum and Bloom are in. And this should be as much as we see from SAR's bench. Maybe if this game gets a little out of hand, either way, we could see someone in, but I doubt it.
I spoke to an anonymous bench player for SAR, and I asked him what he thought his prospects of getting in this game are. And he said, if we are up by 45 or if we are down by 45, I still won't get into this game. That's a direct quote.
That's funny.
That is a fair way to describe the situation.
Resetting Schwalbe, guarding. Over to Siklik.
Lots of off-ball screens here from Rambam.
A lot of ball movement I've seen so far from both teams. And Strulovich looking for something. Great defense so far by SAR. That's one of the things that SAR does fantastically. They play great defense.
Right, especially Rambam. It's a very, very small team.
Here's Aaron. Over to Hanukkah. No.
On such a long possession like that, to force them to settle on that shot, I think that's a job well done by SAR.
Certainly.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. As is Oppenheimer. SAR going small, and a
There
travel.
it is again. I mean, looking beyond this game, should SAR win here when their opponents get a little bit more difficult?
You can't afford that.
Yeah, you can't just give up possessions like that.
I would agree, as Sokol and Gurn are in, Weiss and Schwalbe are out. And as soon as I say that they're going small, they go big. Great backdoor cut. Oh, they called a travel. I didn't see that. Max, you saw anything there?
Gotta be honest, I wasn't watching.
Well, you know what? Honesty is the best policy. So that's great. Here's Oppenheimer.
Fortunately, I actually don't call the troubles. So
Tough pass, Sokol, and jump ball. I don't like that pass.
yeah, it's a little bit of a force inside there. I think he saw that his defender was kind of anticipating a pass to the corner, and he thought, you know, I can get it inside here. A little misdirection.
And we forgot to mention, as we have a quick stoppage in play, SAR plays the winner. If they win, SAR plays the winner of Mesivta Waterbury versus Mag and David. Both tough opponents. They'll be playing tomorrow night in Brooklyn. I certainly will not be there, but there will be people there. And both are great opponents, but SAR has to get past this first. Great contest right there by Sokol. And these refs are very, they're calling a lot, as Schwalbe's going to check back in.
We've had this reffing combo a couple times so far. This is their usual thing that
Oppenheimer checks out for Schwalbe.
mostly makes good calls. Obviously, every now and then you'll have a bad call, but that's just Yeshiva League reffing right there. So,
One thing I'll say is they're friendly guys off the court.
they really
That's
are.
true, yeah, that's
Fantastic. Stand-up guys.
Here's Gurin in the corner for three. No. Rebound, Bloom. Over to Gurin again. Gurin fakes to Bloom. One thing I wish Ashi did is shoot more. He's got a great shot, and he's got to shoot that more.
Yeah.
Schwalbe. SAR stagnant in this first quarter. Sokol on the drive, and they call a foul.
I mean, combined 10 total points with just a minute remaining in this first quarter. Not an offensive slugfest, if you will.
That is a good point. Sokol misses the first. Not happy about that. As Bloom checks out for Weiss. Sokol hits the second. And here's Ibrahimi. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I apologize if I did not. And here's Azuz with Greenbaum. Greenbaum, a stout defender on him. Azuz still handling at the top. Triple draw. Oh, and great move on Greenbaum when he puts it in. That was a great move. Approaching 30 seconds to go in this first quarter. Here's Gurin. Back to Gurin. To Weiss. Sokol out on the wing. Sokol again, fakes. They're holding for one here. No, Schwalbe with the shot, and he got it. Great ball movement by SAR there. As we approach 5 seconds. Shot, no. There's Sokol, and he throws it towards the fans by the locker room.
I'm not sure why Rambam took that last shot. There was like
Nor am I. They had a little bit of
4
time left.
seconds remaining on the clock.
I would agree with that.
It's not like they didn't have like a clock to look at. There is a clock on this side of their side of the court. So, who knows?
Yeah, and that was a great, not so good offense, but a great defense for SAR, and they hold a 10-5 lead going into the second quarter, and that's what you want.
Now, if I'm Rambam, I'm happy with this quarter. Again, I think Rambam just got to stay in this game. It's a 10-5 game right now. They're obviously being outplayed, but again, let's say they open up the second quarter with a 3-pointer, it's a 2-point game.
Right.
You stay in it, you continually stay in it. then the game becomes a lot closer down the stretch.
Right, I would certainly agree with that.
So yeah, I mean, score-wise, I think so, but I think that just from the pace of the game, SAR has been very much dictating it, in my opinion, and that it looked like that the SAR's defense actually forced Rambam to take a couple
bad shots,
really bad shots. So
no question. I think that's true. But when you're only scoring 10 points in the quarter,
right,
you could chuck up a couple bad shots, a couple of them land, and then things start going the other way. Where SAR is sensing, oh, this is actually a lot closer a game than we anticipated.
Right.
And that's when nerves start kicking in. That's when playing not to lose starts happening rather than playing to win.
And we've seen that before, actually, where SAR had a lead, and they would lose that lead. Certainly, I think they had a lead against a bunch of teams.
And the epic meltdown at Frisch earlier in the season.
Right, alley-oop to Weiss. No, they love that play. Adam Weiss has a lot of athleticism, so when you have the ability to do that, you take your chances. Here's Siklik for three.
Wow.
Got it, and it's a 2-point
Just
game.
as I said, in between the quarters. Now it's a 2-point game. And it shouldn't go unnoted that the Rambam seems to have a decent crowd here.
Right.
And that could play in as well if this game stays close.
They travel well as a school. They do.
And there's an audible defense chant going on.
Ooh. Hoppy on the drive. Over to Sokol. Sokol calling for a little ISO. Down to Weiss. Weiss on the block. On the drive to Schwalbe. To Oppenheimer for three. That's Oppenheimer's spot. No good, though.
Good ball movement on that.
Yeah, and they're trying to tip that over. Noah tried to tip that in. No good, but that's Oppie's spot. He really loves that spot. As Azuz for three. No. Could have been a foul there as Weiss gathers the board. And here comes SAR. Rambam in a man. We'll see maybe if it gets out of hand. A lot of these Yeshiva League teams like to do a 2-3 zone, but we'll see. SAR is a team where it's tough to match up against them. They have three really big guys who are also athletic. Has Schwalbe for three? No. Rambam doing a good job so far, but also SAR has missed a lot of shots. Here's Azuz for three, deep three, got it. And Rambam is in the
See, I wouldn't necessarily call that the greatest of shots, but if a couple of those start falling, I mean, Rambam has the 11-10 lead here.
Rambam also has I don't know how a Venezuela, I guess. Is that Schwalbe on the drive, great move, no. Sokol with the rebound, and a great play by Sokol. Gets the rebound and he throws it off of Rambam player.
SAR has just not been able to get those shots to fall. They've had a lot of good takes that have just not been.
And there is no guarantee that they will start to fall.
No, there is not. But it's not their usual. They're usually much better and scoring higher percentages than that.
There's Schwalbe around, blocked by
that wasn't the best.
Aaron. Great block by Aaron as the momentum swings in Rambam's favor. And at the top of that momentum is number one, Aaron Azuz. Certainly been a key contributor on both offense and defense. Max, what have you seen from his game so far?
I mean, I think it's exactly as we said before the game.
Rambam's
come out with a lot of energy. I mean, they're taking a lot of three-pointers. I think it's just one of those kind of things. Like, you get enough of them to fall, the game stays close.
And he traveled. They've been calling that a lot. That is a travel. So good call by the refs. Joe, what do you think SAR needs to do in order to take the lead and maybe put their stamp on this game?
Certainly ramp up the intensity. They look a little dead out there right now, which I guess is understandable. They're playing an opponent who is by all measures inferior to them, but they're down a point around halfway through the second quarter. Their defense has been pretty good for the most part.
Foul and one. Uppy took the contact and put it in.
That'll certainly help momentum turn.
I mean,
as
still
look
obviously
at the replay, great shot.
Yeah, he looked for the contact there. He got it. And threw the contact.
Was that a three-pointer?
No, that was a two.
That was a two. But again, I think if you see, like, it's obviously still early. It's the second quarter, but Schwalbe's missed on a couple from the corner. He had 2 takes to the pretty nice takes. 1 blocked, 1 he just missed. Right as time goes on, you don't want to be the one to make that mistake as time goes on. So you get the ball in the corner, you have an open 3, and you might be thinking, I missed a couple times from here.
Right.
I'm not sure what I want to do here, and that kind of uncertainty is how favorites lose these kind of games.
Absolutely.
Weiss with the board. Great take as Schwalbe puts it in the timeout.
That possession that's great for SAR coming out.
Absolutely.
Great move by Oppenheimer on the drive, kind of set that up, but also go unnoticed. Azuz's great defense. He stripped it out, kind of like that Andre Iguodala play on LeBron in the finals, if you remember.
Yeah,
I do remember.
I mean, SAR has been pretty good with the offensive boards, which is actually very critical to winning a game.
I would
say
certainly agree.
Weiss down there pretty much has no competition. So, and the combination of Weiss and Sokol. So,
how many boards do they have?
Combined, they already have at least 7 boards. So, both offensive and defensive combined. So, that's certainly an advantage this SAR team has. And
you've seen it on the attempted alley-oop plays a couple times.
Right.
Weiss just rises above the other guys in his vicinity pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when it comes to offensive
he's a 5-sport star. We established that in the hockey game.
He likes to...
What are the 5?
I think it was golf, hockey, basketball, baseball, and tennis.
Interesting.
I kind of assume that
he personally thinks that he is the best in the senior grade at all those sports.
Also interesting. He also happens to buy a lot of seltzer and a lot of baguettes.
Yeah,
and I don't know if there's any correlation there.
We're not sure about that. What we certainly know is that he's got a heck of an interesting
Hanukkah
yarmulke on right now.
And that's good.
Put on a yarmulke.
It's time for Hanukkah.
Wow, that could have been played out very bad.
I was saving that for the end of the game, Max.
I don't know. I didn't know that. That should have been something we could have discussed.
I totally agree. Sokol tried to fit it in, and it's a turnover by Sammy.
Light up the night at Hanukkah, but this is good enough.
It is a nice thing to see, though, that I think every player on the court is wearing a yarmulke.
And no good.
That is certainly good to see.
Schwalbe with the board.
I think that's uncommon.
It's uncommon.
Yeah.
Bloom and Greenbaum getting ready to check in.
SAR prides themselves in wearing their yarmulkes.
Got a tie game here. Here's Gurin. Gurin on the drive. Good take. Tipped. No. Foul. And one. And Noah showing some emotion. He got the board and then the score. Great hustle by Noah. He's one of the, he's a big guy, but he's also very scrappy.
They don't call him the walking linguini for nothing.
That is true. That's his common nickname. I almost always call him that when I see him in the hallways.
I actually forgot his name was Noah at a certain point.
Well, that was like me and Derek Rose. Oh, sorry, I mean Ashi. Yeah. As Greenbaum and Bloom check in for Schwalbe and Sokol. And here's Greenbaum. Bad pass, and it's stolen by Weiss.
The humane domain.
Over to Bloom, and he puts it in.
Really
Great
nice
pass
look
by Oppenheimer. That was gorgeous.
As Oppenheimer calls touchdown from half court.
SAR going very defensive here as a turnover by Rambam, and the pendulum switches as Ashi, this former star receiver in the YINR Flag Football League.
Yeah.
Turning back time for that bucket. Here's Bloom. Over to Gurin. SAR has actually missed, they've done well in the second quarter, but overall they missed a lot of free throws.
Yes, they have.
Oppenheimer with the fake. No good. And Weiss contesting. Hanukkah with the rebound.
It's been uncanny how many free throws they missed.
Yeah, we've seen them in the last 2 games, actually. Homecoming, they did a poor job.
Right.
I think if the Frisch coach had realized they would shoot that poorly from the line, he actually wouldn't have pulled the starters.
Yeah, with 5 minutes to go, I would agree. As Hanukkah, you can say it, Joe. He's lighting up the night so far. As he's got...
It's still early.
It's still early, but he's lighting it up, He's on that second candle as he hits his second 3. Here's Weiss.
Right, but those are the kind of looks I was saying that Rambam should be looking for, because again, they're down by 1 here. That's a take. I mean, if I'm SAR, I'm obviously trying to extend the lead going into the half, build some momentum to come into the third quarter.
Forgetting what the saying was, you made a great point about you stay in the game long enough that sometime in the fourth quarter you're just gonna take over. I'm forgetting where I heard that, but as Sokol and Schwalbe check in for Weiss and Gurn. And before Max, you wanted to comment. One thing I think Coach Halp is doing a great job is of rotating players.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say
I think you saw in the first Frisch game at Frisch they had a big lead. Oppenheimer was playing great, but he was in probably the whole game, and a lot of the players you could see.
Great backdoor cut by Schwalbe. Got it.
Really nice play, but
great
you could see the fatigue building on some of the players, and I think coming out of that game, he learned, if we're going to play with a short lineup, or small lineup, let's keep guys
right.
fresh. Lots of rotations.
Here's Azuz with Schwalbe on him, and he's fouled by Schwalbe. That's his first.
As the clock continues to run mysteriously.
Look at this great backdoor and great dish by Sammy. For a big man, he's got that passing ability.
Zach Bernstein usually stout on the clock, but
he does book.
He does book.
That's why. That's why the
that makes sense.
Schwalbe,
all Yeshiva League manager right there.
Yeah, using all Yeshiva League manager first team.
Yep. As Schwalbe checks out. And on the court for the Sting, Oppenheimer, Gurin, Sokol, Greenbaum, and Bloom. Greenbaum contesting. I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of cheating on defense. We saw Noah do it a couple times against Heschel.
Almost did it there.
Sometimes he steals it, but he gave up a costly basket. He tried to cheat and it didn't work. Azuz now.
I think a lot of it has to do with the trust in your teammates. A lot of times you feel like if your teammates can cover for you, maybe you cheat up on a couple of those, you get a couple. And I think in that possession, right, you saw Drew jump for it, but very quickly another guard was there.
As Gurin gets a steal. Gurin on the drive, he's fouled, and one!
Right, that's the exact thing SAR should be looking for.
Emphatic fist pump by Sammy Sokol.
Look at this, Noah stumbling, but he's able to regain his momentum and put it in. And that's what SAR wants as they close the half. 17 seconds. It's been a fast half. SAR 5 right now. I think Rambam's going to hold for the last shot, although they shot it from half court with 5 seconds to go last time. So maybe they'll do it again this time as another miss for SAR from the free throw line. They're doing a half court trap for SAR. Zeus on the drive.
Ooh. Hit his head hard.
Oh my God. Yeah. You heard that. That did not look good.
Did not sound good.
Yeah, it did not look good or sound good.
Yeah, concussions are a big issue these days.
It's true.
As I would know.
He gets up.
Really?
I don't know. They should get him checked, I think. That's
Fortunately, it's going straight into the half. He'll only miss
0.6.
At best, 0.6.
I would advise him no contact sports.
As my doctor advised me for 6 weeks.
Yeah. 2.5. They put 2.5.
Good finish.
Great.
Yeah. I didn't see who scored there.
I think it was a putback. We were kind of focusing on the on Azuz as SAR will inbound with 2.5 to go. Let's see what they can do here. Sokol over to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer for 3. No.
Good look.
It's a good look. Great play drawn up as SAR holding a slim 3-point lead at the half. We'll take a quick break. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Alley-oop to Weiss, and he puts it in. Weiss with the rebound. Opie for 3. Bang! Gurin for 3. Mayer off on the drive, trying to get the contact and an offensive foul. Another thing to notice as Gurin tries to Adam Weiss with that elevation. Great play by Coach. It's blue and he puts it in. Going for three. And he's fouled. And the foul. As Gurin shoots the three and he got it. Close. Oh, and wow, what a block by Weiss. Oppenheimer controlling for three. Got it. Wow. That was a deep three by Oppenheimer.
Sokol Koch.
And he puts it in. Schwalbe on the wing. Schwalbe for three. Yes! Schwalbe, who's been the energy right now, and he draws the foul. And one. Jake Schwalbe is on fire. Over to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer with the fake for three. Yeah!
Tiebreaker.
Yeah.
If it's
blocked by Schwalbe. What a block by Schwalbe. Great fake by Gurin. And he puts it in. Schwalbe for three. Bang! Schwalbe fake. Oh, what was? Sokol on the drive, and you can't stop that. Gurin in the post, and he got it. Oppenheimer on the drive, pops, and he got it. Over to Schwalbe. Back to Weiss. Oh, wow, what a pass.
for sure.
So block. Great move by Noah Gurin right there. Heller on the drive. Oh, good save.
Heller.
Heller with a great cross on the drive. Yeah, wow.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sammy. Happy birthday.
Welcome back here to the Hive. Start of the second half underway shortly. And Joe, we got a couple stats about Rambam. Why don't you run through them so far?
Oh, for sure. We have obviously Hanukkah, like we said, lighting up the night. 2 3-pointers in the second quarter. And so far, the best player for Rambam is Azus.
I still think it's Azos, but
Azos.
I think it's Azos.
Azos, Aesop, whatever.
We hope he's doing well. It looked like I saw him in warm-ups. It looks like he's going to play. Took a nasty fall there, but
yeah, 7 points in the first half.
I was talking about concussions. The only reason I'm actually commentating tonight is because without these headphones, it's too loud in the gym.
Wow.
That's an interesting fact. And one thing to note for SAR, they heated up a little bit on offense in the second quarter, but they've been struggling from the free throw line.
Yeah, I think they're 2 for 7 on the night. That's abysmal, to put it gently.
And the leaders offensively for SAR are Schwalbe with 6, Gurin with 4, and Sokol with 4. Both Sokol and Weiss as well are pounding the rebounds. As we begin the third quarter of 4 here in the Hive.
This quarter, SAR's got to be looking to pull away a little bit. As I mentioned a number of times, if this game's close in the fourth quarter, that plays right into what Rambam's probably looking for.
Wow, Azuz pulls up and he got, wow.
Right, yeah.
The exact
There's nothing you can say about that, and I think he got fouled.
Yeah, I think so too. But anyway, what I would say offensively for SAR, Oppi's got to look to get more involved here.
So does I think Schwalbe. And he almost pulls a Sammy and throws it into the hoop. Here's Azos, loses his dribble. No.
How many points did Oppi have in the first half?
Oppi had 2.
Yeah, gotta get more than that.
Outlet. Oh, Sokol got it. Way to stay with it, Sammy. You've taken him many times in the Fort Gang backyard. What does it take to guard him there?
You gotta use your body. He looks big, but he's gentle. He's a gentle giant.
SAR holding a slim.
The Dutch twist, Sammy Sokol.
He actually isn't Dutch. That is the twist.
SAR holding a 2-point edge here as the first minute has gone. Here's, I think that's back to Hanukkah. Siklik, sorry. Strolovich to Hanukkah who fakes. Sammy, I knew we would be hearing his voice at least a couple times. As Hanukkah fakes over to Azuz, or Azos, as some of us like to call it, and Weiss with the rebound. SAR to Sokol. Sokol on the drive spin. No. Sammy wanted the foul. I don't think that was a foul. Here's Azos. Right, Max? Azos?
I don't know him personally. I think just, as you said, I'm
Azos
the grammar specialist.
No.
There's an O in his name there. Not a U.
And he's poked free. Adam with his 5th board on the night.
Kind of like the word morose. That's kind of the way I see it.
All right. I can see where you're coming from. As here's Oppi. To Schwalbe at the top.
Interesting, he's wearing Adidas socks but Nike shoes. I wonder what that's about. It's probably nothing.
Probably nothing.
We don't know that for sure.
Oh, got it.
Really nice looking feed from Oppi.
And timeout, Rambam.
It's the second time they've called a timeout early in a quarter. I guess it's not that early.
A nice pick and roll here. Sokol bobbles it briefly, but is able to put it up. I wouldn't like to see him college layup there.
Seems a little bit unnecessary.
Certainly, but
as long as it goes through the hoop, I think it should suffice.
I would agree. Sammy's had a great game. He's already got 8 points, 4 or 5 boards, and I think Joe mentioned it earlier that his defensive prowess adds a lot to this team.
I think also extends a lot beyond the stat sheet because a lot of time him just being there in the center,
Right.
it forces offenses to kind of work around him, or they kind of have to change their own game. I mean, I would say, I don't know what Rambam normally does, but this game's clearly been being played on the perimeter for them. Yeah, the possessions that look good for them also. I think on the last couple possessions you saw they were drawing Sammy out to the perimeter.
And yeah, as well as his off-the-court presence as the captain and leader of the Sting team, certainly, the unquestioned leader. So, Sammy Sokol really all-around player right now for the Sting team.
Azo's got it
in this
from
playoff run.
Cyclic, and now he's dribbling at the top. Rambam looking a little stagnant. Cyclic with a tough shot. No good.
Weiss right in his face.
Great board by Schwalbe right there. Here's Oppie. Duran now. And it's an offensive foul on Adam. I think that's Adam's first. SAR has been relatively quiet on the fouls, which is a good thing. Here's Srilovic. Besides that 3 at the beginning of the quarter, Rambam doing nothing. Oppie almost steals it, but Aaron regains it. And Joe, what do you think? What do you think Rambam needs to do in order to get their offense flowing more?
Take that good shot, make that good shot. It's all about momentum at this point in the game. They're very much still in it as we approach halfway through the third quarter. A lot of time left in this game, so like Max has been saying all along, it's really imperative for them to stick around and be nipping at the heels of SAR as the fourth quarter approaches to really give them a legitimate shot at winning this game.
Here's Hanukkah over to Srilovic, who pops. No air ball. I think that was tipped, yeah.
Yep.
Weiss, they love that move, and he double dribble.
Yeah, one thing I think that Rambam was doing better in the first half was their off-ball movement, off-ball screens, and that opened up a lot of opportunities for them on the perimeter. I think they're a little bit slower coming out of the gates in the second half. That's something I think that is
Do you think that has anything to do with SAR's defense, maybe?
Did they make a defensive switch? I
don't think so.
They've been playing this all
Here's Azos down to Aaron, who misses, gets his own rebound. Gonna put it back up. Soko with good down.
Good take.
Great take, and actually great job, way to stay with it.
Showing shades of his father on that one.
Interesting fact, actually. Ethan Aaron's father was a YU superstar in his day. Am I correct, Mac? His name was David Aaron?
I don't know.
David Aaron is I don't know. Might be.
Or if David Aaron happens to be a Rosh Yeshiva at Oraita,
I know.
That could be where you got his name. I don't. It's also a pretty common name.
He got his name.
Right. David is not.
I'm sure he's not named
the most
after.
unique of names.
And it got very loud there for a second as Sokol misses. As Bloom and Greenbaum check in. But it got very loud. And, credit to Rambam. They bring the fans. Joe mentioned that earlier. And that could actually play a key part in this fourth quarter if it gets close. If the fourth quarter comes and it gets close.
Certainly more Rambam students here right now than SAR students. So.
Yeah, but we have more parents.
There actually aren't that many in numbers, at least.
Ibrahimi got it. High game, and
they just happen to have brought a lot of musical instruments. And I think that's a pretty important part. But, yeah, SAR is not known for bringing out big crowds, unless it's homecoming, I guess. But this is a playoff.
Even homecoming we're not even usually good at. This past year, it's Sting Night Live.
Excuse me.
Exceptional.
How dare you?
Student council president. I think you should know that, but whatever.
As Aaron with the rebound, and he puts it in. Timeout. SAR calls a timeout And the Rambam fans are very loud. And it's hard to hear. Max, I don't know how you're doing with your concussion.
I'm doing great. Credit to Sennheiser. These headphones are doing well.
It's great to hear. And Max, what do you think Coach Halpert's telling the Sting in this huddle?
I think he's saying calm down. I think he's saying relax out there, right? Let's stick with what's worked, right? Let's stick to better defense. Ooh, as my name gets added to the announcer list.
Wow.
Only 3 quarters into this game. But anyway, I think SAR's Coach Halpert is saying to his team is, look, they're taking chances. They're not hesitating to shoot from deep. Not hesitating to shoot from 4 feet behind the line. Let's play good defense. Let's stay calm. Let's take the lead, and let's go into the 4th quarter with some momentum.
And I think one thing that's important to note is this is a playoff game.
Right.
They lose, they're out.
At what point does that start sinking in for SAR? I don't know. I mean, I know talking to some of the players.
I haven't seen it so far.
Talking to some of the players going into this game, they certainly expect to win. Which makes sense. They've only lost once this year. But as the game gets closer and closer to the finish, those kind of thoughts.
He traveled.
But
another
that's the kind of play that kind of enforces these kind of thoughts, where it's like, let's say you go into the 4th quarter and you're down 2, right? Then you start thinking, oh, it's the 4th quarter and we're down 2, right? This could be the end of our season. And then the seniors are thinking, this could be the end of my career, aside from Sarachek. And those kind of thoughts are dangerous, and then that's the thing I think Coach Halpert should be trying to contain. Trying to keep guys calm and say, look.
Azos on the drive. Wow.
That's a really nice finish.
Scoop and score right there.
Joe looks dumbfounded.
I often do, but especially more at this moment.
SAR is doing nothing on offense. And you said it earlier about Rambam, no off-ball movement. SAR doesn't really have that right now. Oppenheimer off the glass, got it. That's what you need. You need Oppenheimer to step up and put that in. Here's Ibrahimi.
I spoke to Oppenheimer's doctor, and he actually has ice in his veins. Like that's a medical condition. So as this game gets closer,
does he take like medicine for it, or
I don't know.
It's like an IV kind of thing.
It wasn't a long conversation with the doctor.
Oh,
it was more of like a Q&A where I said, "Hey doc, does he have ice in his veins?" And the answer was yes.
It's just Dr. Gary Berger.
No. I actually lied about that whole interaction. I never spoke to his doctor.
I liked it. It was a great. You know what? You never know really, because that's what they needed right there, and he did it.
Look, we don't need a doctor to tell us what we know to be
Oppenheimer
true.
Step back, no good.
Yeah, maybe his doctor is not that truthful.
Here's Azos, and he's fouled.
Oh. Got lucky there.
He seems to fall to the ground a lot.
A lot.
Reminds me of a player on SAR by the name of Joseph Minkov, whose head and hard surfaces are best of friends.
So that's a great point, as Azos will go to the line, shooting 2. So he hits the first. SAR down 3 now. .20 left here in the 3rd quarter. And what's been a very fast game, I must say so myself.
Mm-hmm.
Under an hour thus far. And for the Sting, they're going back to their starting 5. That seemed to work earlier in the game. Let's see if they hold for 1 here. I wonder what they do. Sokol, down low, no. Sokol again, yes. As the 3rd quarter ends. SAR down 2 in what's been a thriller so far. A 32-30 lead for Rambam. As we look at this replay, Sokol, he wants it, Max.
Yeah.
He really does.
Mm-hmm.
I know him. We all know him, and we all know how much he wants not only to win the championship, but to win Sarachek.
Both are important. I mean, he's someone who truly cares about the team. You know, I mean, he's someone who obviously he cares about scoring points and his own personal attributes, but I mean accolades. But he's someone who I spoke to him a number of times, and he cares that the team succeeds. And you see that in a lot of games. I think one of the games was the Frisch game where he actually didn't play much at all. You said he was in foul trouble. The home game, which they won.
Yeah.
But he didn't play that much. But you didn't see him any sadder after the game. You know, it's hard to imagine anyone would be, but he's someone who definitely cares about the team, and he's put his heart and soul into the Sting Nation for 4 years. And that last play honestly is emblematic of that, because he missed the layup, went right back up with it, went up strong.
Right.
He does not want to lose here tonight.
SAR will inbound to start the fourth. And, you know, we've had an entertaining game, a little low scoring.
Yeah, very.
But I look forward to what hopefully is an SAR win in the thrilling game. Another back cut and the foul. Sammy showing emotion right there.
It's pretty much as excited. You'll see Jake Schwalbe get on the court. little twirl of the wrist.
Well, externally, at least.
As we look at this replay, great backdoor cut by Jake Schwalbe, and he takes the contact and the foul. Great way to start the fourth quarter. Schwalbe misses. Soko with the board, and Soko puts it in and the foul. Sammy Soko, a man among boys right now. Let's look at that replay. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing more you can say. Sammy right now on fire. He's got 12 points and 7 boards as they get another rebound.
It might make you wonder if missing these free throws could be a good thing, given how well they're rebounding offensively.
Yeah, SAR, you know, down 2, but within 20 seconds, up 2 now. Soko with a great, Soko with a great block, and they're going to call a jump, and it's going to be Rambam's ball.
Yeah.
It's a one-handed jump ball.
Look at that replay.
I don't think Soko had any
great fake by Siklik.
Claim to that ball.
Yeah, you can't really run into Sammy and succeed.
Yeah, they called that jump ball very quickly.
Rambam will inbound. Looking. Down to Hanukkah, but it's stolen by Oppenheimer. And what I was saying before, Sammy really having an all-around game tonight. Really showing out. Could be his last home game ever as a member of the Sting. 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. As he pops, no good. Rebound, Schwalbe. Down to Soko. Soko blocked by Aaron.
Great play defensively there by Aaron.
And actually, interesting fact here, or interesting statistic. Schwalbe with that 5th rebound. Sokol and Weiss combined have a total of 17 rebounds. That's a big number
for the
Yeshiva League. SAR up by 2. 6 minutes, 40 seconds. Sokol. Here's Oppenheimer now. Down to Sokol. Sokol doubled and stolen by Azos. Azos and his foul. I thought he just lost his footing there.
Yeah.
I could see these refs start calling it a little tighter, though. So that's something to look for.
I spoke to the ref at halftime, and he said he's got to call it equally, because if not, then you're just a piranha. And then he proceeded to make a bite motion at me. And I don't know exactly what that means.
Viewers, interpret that at your own discretion.
Yeah, I would agree. Azos falls again and rebounds. I think it was Sokol, but it was tipped, and Oppenheimer has it.
One thing SAR has done differently on offense is they put Sammy on the perimeter.
I like that look. Schwalbe on the drive. Got it. Jake Schwalbe
coming alive in the fourth quarter.
Sokol. On fire right now. Azos for 3, got it. And right like that, Rambam down 1. And Max, we've really seen a stellar game, you know, both from Sokol and Schwalbe, but something we have to say, we're not keeping stats for Rambam, but as Gurin puts it in, great pass from Sokol. Azos is having a fantastic game.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that
We're
one.
getting some breaking news from the bench that Ashi Bloom is out of the game with a knee injury. So we'll see how SCR picks it up. Now only rotation of 6 guys. Big loss for the Sting.
Yeah, it's a big loss for the Sting, as Derek Rose is out for the rest of the game. And here's Oppenheimer, and it's a timeout, SAR. Good call by Coach Halper, I think, just to maybe settle down the troops. And Joe, how many points do Sokol and Schwalbe have combined tonight?
So Jake's got 8, Sammy's got 12, combined they got 20. That's more than half of SAR's points so far, really carrying the load for this team, especially Jude Oppenheimer, offensive
Struggling,
standout,
yeah.
only with 4 points. Adam Weiss, 4 points, but that's around his average. And Noah Gurin, 6 points.
The rebounding has been the key here.
Yeah.
They're SAR's controlling the boards.
Really have been.
That could result in a big win for them.
Right.
Max, what are you looking for in this last? Sorry to interrupt you, Joe. What are you looking for in this last 4:47?
I'm just looking to see some basketball. I mean, you mentioned the refs might call it a little bit tighter, but I'm a big advocate of just letting them play. Let's see them play. I don't want anything controversial to happen.
I think that might be my yearbook quote.
I just want to see
basketball.
No, but it's true. I mean, this has been a good back and forth game. A couple lead changes. Just been a fun game to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's not much. I don't know what I expect, but that's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
Sokol took a quick breather, as it will be Oppenheimer, Greenbaum, Gurin, Schwalbe, and Weiss on. I imagine Sammy's going to come back in for the closing minutes, probably for Drew. Schwalbe on the drive, fake, up and under, got it. That's a classic Jake Schwalbe gym ball move right there.
He actually patented it, and he called that a classic Jake Schwalbe gym ball move.
SAR opening up a 5-point lead now with 4 minutes to go. And if you're Rambam, this could be slipping away.
Yeah, you never would call a 5-point lead commanding, but I actually think that might be the biggest lead of the night for SAR.
Schwalbe, a little undersized, guarding Aaron, is going to get
I think it was 10-5 at a point, but yeah.
That's true. It was 10-5.
With the pace of this game, it certainly feels more than 5 points, actually sounds like.
Actually, it will be Gurin who checks out for Sokol. SAR going a little big. Actually not, they're not. I was wrong. Here's Azos. Over to Hanukkah, who's been quiet. He has not lit up the night in the second half. But they get their own rebound, and here's Azos again. I don't like how they're slowing the pace. They gotta drive it in and try to get back into this game.
They do have some time left.
Azos for 3, no. Weiss with his 6th rebound.
This is a big possession for SAR.
Right.
Oppenheimer. Now Schwalbe. Greenbaum with a great drive. Actually, it was a good cut. Schwalbe shot, no good. Rebound Azos.
On that possession, you actually heard SAR's fans come alive a little bit, led by Miss Laria.
And there aren't there are a lot of fans. There are a lot of fans here for the Sting. As Hanukkah shoots another 3 and is late, or he misses, and
it looks like
Aaron gets in and puts it in.
It looks like most, if not all, of the administrators are here.
Yeah.
So that's certainly good.
That's certainly good. As here's Oppenheimer. 2 minutes to go in what's been mostly a defensive affair. Oppenheimer landed awkwardly there. I was a little nervous for a second. Max, did you like that call?
foul or no foul, I think that's kind of one of those plays where I would rather not see the foul call there.
Fair. I would
Yeah, I
agree.
think that's Azos was visibly upset by that call. I'd have to see a replay to get a closer look at it, but
As Oppenheimer hits the first.
that's the kind of play where that looked like, from my angle, a clean block. And with the game this close, that could dictate the rest of this game,
Schwalbe out as Gurin checks in. Coach Halpert rotating the starters in for a little bit until they need to close. As he hits the second. SAR with a 5-point lead. The clock has not run. Now it is. With 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes left. Here's Aaron. Hanukkah, who struggled in the second half. Azos with Greenbaum on him. Corner. What? There's Ibrahimi to Azos. Azos on the drive. And blocked by Gurin. Rebound Sokol.
Sokol just got hit in the face.
As I said, he's gentle.
Sammy approaching a double-double here. He's got 12 points and 8 boards. And SAR is going to go into a little stall. Sokol on the drive.
Ref getting a little bit excited there.
Well, Coach Halpert saw that Sammy was taking it into his own hands.
It's actually the most excited timeout I've ever seen.
And Joe, what do you think Rambam needs to do in order to close this game out and get them
Speed it up. With the pace of this game, you do not have enough time to score 5 points in a minute and 26 seconds.
I disagree.
With the speed of this game.
SAR struggled.
It's 2 3-pointers.
SAR struggled.
No, they certainly do. They just need to keep. They certainly have enough time to score and take the lead. That's without a doubt. They just need to pick up the pace just a tad, and sink a bucket.
One thing that I think
They'll
goes
be right back in it really quickly with that.
No, I think their last possession was a good one. Obviously, it ended with a miss by Azos at the rim. But I think that last possession, they were kind of just a lot of passing, looking for the right look.
Yeah.
I think when it's in this kind of game, knowing that SAR is not the best shooting team, I'd rather get the better look, than rush it.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that goes into Rambam's favor, and you mentioned this really early in the game with Frisch, SAR struggles shooting free throws. So, if we see a moment where SAR's got to shoot free throws to extend this lead, and then Rambam comes down and hits a couple threes, I could see Rambam potentially making this game a little closer.
Yeah.
Here's Sokol, and they'll foul Sokol.
Certainly the right person to foul.
I would agree. Although Sammy's been, I think, 50% from the line tonight.
That number isn't horrible for Rambam still. I mean,
I would agree. I'm just saying Sammy usually struggles to shoot free throws. And right now,
the clock's still running.
Oh. Then it went up.
Yeah, it seems to have a mind of its own out here.
I mean, it's because Zach Bernstein is doing book and not clock.
So it's just running by itself.
Yep.
I actually spoke to the clock's doctor. And
and I think, Mr. B just asked me if it's a 1-on-1. I don't know. I don't know. I would assume so. I think it's a 1-on-1.
Right, so obviously, Jude Oppenheimer's not the one you're looking to foul, though.
Yeah.
No, it's probably the worst person to foul on this thing game.
He went 2 for 2 from the line before. So now, in the last couple minutes here, he's 3 for 3 here.
They get 4 for 4 as SAR opening up a 7-point lead with a timeout by Rambam as the clock continues to run and then it resets back to. Max, what did the clock's doctor say?
I actually didn't speak to the clock's doctor, mainly because he's a clock and doesn't have a doctor. I thought that went without saying.
Would a technician qualify as a doctor?
Yeah. Or an engineer?
I would say no.
Mm-hmm.
I would disagree.
But I...
This is one of the more interesting conversations we've had on our broadcast in these past 4 years.
I mean, I think in a 7-point game in the playoffs with a minute 17 remaining, that's actually the only thing we should be talking about.
Right. I couldn't agree more, Mr. Berger.
As the camera zooms in on our cheerleader of the night, Miss Loria.
Ooh.
Rabbi Kroll.
On his phone,
Looking
clearly.
very into this game.
Very.
I wonder how much they'll appreciate these shout-outs tomorrow.
I think I don't think they'll be appreciated.
Yoram Rochwell, the face of the franchise.
He really is. He's like the Mark Sanchez of the team.
I'm not sure if that's the right comparison.
There are better ones to be said.
You know what? Rex Ryan.
I don't know how often I've actually heard that used in a positive way. I think that's almost always negative.
I don't think I've ever heard it in a positive way.
I don't think I've ever heard it at all, really.
Really? You've never heard Rex Ryan say that back in the day?
Rexy.
Here's Azos. Pulls up. And he falls. And here's
that's what I would say is
Out
picking up the
rebound.
pace. But I don't think that's what they should be looking for.
And there's a foul. .106 left. As Drew Greenbaum, the junior, will go to the line. He's had a resurgent campaign with the varsity team. Struggled as a sophomore last year with the JV team, and he's clearly fit into this role of sixth man, seventh man, defensive specialist. As gets a rebound over to Oppenheimer. Ooh, and there's a foul. And we've gotten to this point where it's kind of rush shot, foul, free throws. So I just wanted to take the moment.
SR's in the double bonus, by the way. It'll be 2 shots for Judah Oppenheimer.
Great. Should be good. I want to take the moment. This could be our last basketball game.
Varsity boys basketball
Varsity
game.
boys basketball. Well,
Yeah.
basketball game.
Right.
Once we do the girls. I just wanted to thank Josh Lewis for 4 great years. Joe and I, we started from the ground up. And it's crazy to think that this is what we're doing 4 years later.
Yeah.
Let it all out.
Oppenheimer.
Don't be afraid of it.
Hits the
Don't hold
first.
back.
You know what, Max? You've done a lot to contribute to this broadcast, so thank you.
Yeah, definitely get a shout out here.
And you know, Joe, we've had 4 years together on this. I've enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah, every minute of it.
So thank you for, we started with girls varsity. I guess the David Cooper tournament, and
Yeah, it was a while ago.
that was a while ago.
Yeah, for sure. And Rafi, obviously, I have the same sentiments as you. Enjoyed every single minute of these broadcasts, and I'm sure that. Well, this has definitely been one heck of an experience throughout high school, and
On to Max Live.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that the basketball kids are, probably feeling similar feelings right now. The seniors, obviously, this very well could be their last home game playing here on this court. And it's got to be emotional. They got a lot of games ahead of them, but they're not. Most likely, none of them will be here.
Are there any circumstances?
Yes, if the Mesivta Waterbury
Wins
beats
tomorrow night.
Mag and David on the road in Brooklyn tomorrow night, SAR will play the Mesivta Waterbury here.
It's almost March. They beat TABC as an underdog.
Oh, they could do it.
They could do it.
They're a team that very much could upset.
So barring a Miracle Minute-esque performance here
Right.
in the last 45 seconds, SAR and barring an upset from Mesivta Waterbury, SAR would then go on the road against Mag and David.
Exactly.
Yeah, undefeated Mag and David has not lost a Yeshiva League game this year.
The
And
number 1 overall
and
seed.
Max,
in
for
the
me
East.
and you, memories of our one loss in middle school.
Yes, our middle school team had one notable loss in it. Was that
It was only one loss. Not one notable loss. One loss.
One
It
loss.
also was the only notable loss.
No, it was the only loss. It was a notable
What
loss.
was the overall record?
36-1.
36-1, 3 championships.
Maybe 37.
Gurin misses the first.
Mm-hmm.
9-point game here. 45 seconds left.
Max Berger, 4 for 4 from the free throw line throughout his entire career.
100%. That's the.
It's claim to fame.
It's still the great. It's the highest number ever in a middle school league.
Oh, in any league, actually.
Here's Sicklick. Block. Block. That was a block.
Jake Schwalbe does not like the call.
He's still smiling, though.
You'll never lose
Always
that.
smiling.
That glare.
Jake.
That's as angry as you'll see him.
He's heated right now.
He's furious. If I were the ref, I would have called it technical there. That's it.
Or taunting.
Sicklick at the line. And he hits the first.
Here, watch the replay of that questionable call.
Oh,
That's all ball.
All ball.
That is all ball.
Sicklick gets his own board after missing. Block.
That seemed like a.
I would have
decent
looked to kick that out for 3 there.
Yeah.
35 seconds left.
But they get to stop the clock, and if he hits both, it's two free points. And they could set up in a press. Yeah, I mean, we wind down this game. There's still a chance they could come back. You said it before. Rambam playing through the perimeter.
If he hits the shot, it's a 2-possession game.
Exactly. SAR not a good free throw shooting team. Rambam, what we've seen so far, shoots the 3 fairly well.
Oh, violation.
And a violation shooter. And SAR with the ball now, up 7. Get it into Gurin, and they foul Gurin.
Gurin went 0 for 2 in free throws on the on that last possession. So.
It's been a long minute.
Should only get longer.
True. As he misses another. And he misses the second. 0 for 4. Here's Strolovich. Over to Hanukkah. Hanukkah's wasting too much time. Pulls up for 3. No. Out to Aaron. On the ground. Oppenheimer calls a timeout.
Heads
Great
up play.
Awareness. And Hanukkah took too much time and then took a deep 3.
Exactly what Judah Oppenheimer was supposed to do right there.
And, you know, let's look at the other bracket. For those, you know, you guys can't see it, but Ramaz and Heschel will be playing tomorrow at 8 at Heschel. And the winner goes on to play DRS in the greenhouse. Should be a ruckus crowd there. And then the winner of that game plays the winner of Henk and Frisch, who's also playing tomorrow at 8:30 in Frisch. And so a lot of games tomorrow.
A lot of varsity basketball left to be played.
Yeah, a lot of varsity basketball.
Followed by Sarachek.
Sarachek should be fun.
Very low energy levels from this crowd.
Yeah.
20.3 seconds away from a playoff win.
The clock has not
The
started.
clock has not started.
The clock has not started.
Oh,
now
it
it actually does its own thing.
I really think we need to talk to the doctor here. The doc is in session.
Oh, that was a good one.
It just skipped about 4 seconds. It didn't start and then it just went.
Well, Oppenheimer is shooting 2.
You probably can't hear it on the broadcast, but the scoreboard actually made that sound. It went. It's actually what it did.
As he hits the first
7 for 7.
in the last, yeah. Interesting that. Thank you to Jewish Hoops for that on Twitter. We see you. As he hits
8 for 8.
the second, and he's 8 for 8. Oppie, a true closer.
As I mentioned before.
Hanukkah for 3. And it's
Wow. The
it's
third candle has been lit.
It's a little bit.
It's a little bit too late as they foul Sokol.
I mean, I guess if we want to get into the particulars, I mean, that was his third 3, but overall, that's 9 points. That means 8 candles and a shamash. So, full slate here for Hanukkah.
That's true.
He did his job.
Unfortunately, it is Adar and will be Purim.
Misha Nichnas Adar Marvin B'Simcha.
This Rambam team hopefully will still be able to find some simcha going into the rest of this week.
As Sokol misses the first.
I don't think it'll be too hard.
I agree. As Sokol hits.
It's a little bit disappointing to hear that bell ring during the free throw right as he was about to shoot.
I would
A
agree.
little low
As
class.
Hanukkah and the fourth
See-
candle.
He didn't have enough
Not
space left.
lit.
He already filled up into the menorah.
SAR advances to the semifinals and will play either the Masifta Waterbury or Magan David. And coming up next, we have a post-game interview with our player.
You guys
of the
did
game,
great.
With our player of the game, Sammy Sokol. Finished with a double-double. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists.
I didn't want to jinx anything on the broadcast, but I said to Sammy before the game, I would like to see a double-double, and that's what
And
we've seen.
Max, thank you. You'll probably be joining us as we recap the game after Sammy's interview. Great game, Sam. Double-double. You really showed off for the home team. What were your emotions going through this? Your last home game, most likely. You know, there's a possibility. But
I came in knowing it was my last home game, probably. I kind of took some time to let it sink in before the game. Stayed at half court, looked at the crowd, looked at the entire court. Thankful for my 4 years here.
Yeah. The first half was not great. I mean, really the first 3 quarters. What really changed in the team's mentality going into the fourth quarter when you guys came out really hot and took the lead and held on to it for good?
So look, they were first half especially. They were hitting some pretty crazy shots, and then so we realized that they have crazy shooters. They'll hit those shots, so we locked in on defense in the second half, and we just played our game, played at our pace, didn't rush it. First half we were kind of rushed. Alpi had a few long dump downs to Weiss, didn't really work out, so we got rid of those and pulled it out.
yeah, you guys were really great defensively and offensively. A really great all-around game. Were you going through any emotions? You know, you told us earlier, standing at half court, but when you guys, you hit that rough patch, I think, briefly in the third quarter, down 3 or 4, did it ever dawn on you or on the team that this was your last game and you could, you know?
So during a timeout, we all just when we were down 3, we all just looked at each other and we were like, yeah, it's our last game. It's our last game playing together on this court. We gotta pull us together, and if we lost this game, we wouldn't be playing for another 2 weeks until Sarachek. So we wanted to keep it going, and we're moving on to Magan, I guess.
Or Masifta Waterbury.
On to the semis either way.
And that was my next question. Regardless of the team, you guys played Magan in a preseason tournament, I think. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And you've played Masifta Waterbury the whole in regular season. What are you looking for in that game?
Well, I think we match up better with Sifto Waterbury as Mag and David has a lot of pesky guards. But look, we played them in the preseason. We lost to them. We weren't at full strength that game, but now we are, thank God. And our team has just gotten significantly better since the preseason, so I'm looking forward.
And thank you so much, Sammy.
Thank you.
Awesome, great.
Great playing.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Good having you
really,
on.
you did it for the econ.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks.
and we're gonna wrap it up here, Joe. This is our last game.
Yeah.
Together, as Max is gonna join us.
I mean, yeah, but at first, about the game itself, wasn't great playing by SAR for most of the game. I mean, it really took till the fourth quarter for them to turn the Jets on. I think I want to say a lot of it was a little bit of rust. A lot of shots they took. They were good shots. They just didn't fall. Defensively, they played well, and yeah, Rambam just hit a lot. Got very lucky. So, but overall, they didn't really play well for the first 3 quarters. Like we said earlier in the game, they have a tendency to play down to their opponents. So I don't think this should be a recurring issue going forward. They know how to step up for big games, and I look for them to do that coming out against Mac and David, presumably in the semifinals. So
And Max, any closing remarks?
I definitely think it's noteworthy to talk about the free throw shooting at the end of the game.
Right.
Especially if you're another team. I don't think maybe one free throw was hit from a player besides Judah at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Right. I think Judah was 8 for 8 or 6 for 6.
8 for 8.
8 for 8. Down the stretch, that if I'm a different opposing team, I mean, you're looking at foul anyone but Judah. I mean,
it's called ice. Ice.
Yeah, that's definitely noteworthy. If I'm Rambam, I wouldn't be too down about this loss. Obviously, it's crushing. It's a playoff loss, but the reality is SCR was the better team here. Rambam has a lot to look forward to next year. They have a lot of young players. Yeah, I mean, they're not traditionally a powerhouse, if I'm not mistaken there.
More of a hockey school.
Right, more of a hockey school. So to make it to the quarterfinals, to have a close game with a high seed, nothing to be ashamed of. And again, they should have a promising squad next year, as most of their great players are just 11th graders.
And we're going to wrap it up here. I just wanted to remind everyone, there'll be a JV basketball girls game tomorrow. It will be the semifinals. Tune into that.
Come out to that, but if you can't,
to that as well,
tune into that.
For the SAR fans. And for maybe one last time as a basketball announcer, Ralphie Fisher, Joe Block, Max Berger signing off.
It's been a great 4 years.
Yeah, it's been a great 4 years.